Hey everyone, welcome back to Stark Fishing. Today I've traveled to Charleston, South Carolina, and am joined by my first and oldest cousin, Lori Stark. She's lived here for a few years now, and we've been able to get out on the water several times, which is always a treat for me since I don't have any close relatives from the Stark side of my family living in the South. Now this trip will be a two-parter since we were actually on the water for almost 12 hours. Now, we normally target sheep's head, and actually later on in the day, we're going to get into some of those. But at this point in the morning, we've shifted our focus to trout and redfish after spending a couple hours under the James Island Expressway Bridge with no bites. We are using mud minnows at this point, fished under a popping cork. We have about a 1.5 leader with a small circle hook. Now, these circle hooks make it a little challenging because you can't set the hook like you're normally used to. You kind of just start reeling until you feel the weight of the fish and it'll hook itself. Now let me tell you though, when you see that big old cork disappear, you really want to jerk the pole back. And there's a fish. I kind of wish I had one of those bright yellow corks like Lori's got because it's kind of hard to see my orange one disappear when the bite comes. One of the great things about fishing out of town is I have no problem sharing exactly where we are catching fish. So stay tuned and I'll be posting the maps highlighting exactly where we were floating down this creek. Now we're fishing an incoming tide, which is supposed to be one of the better times to be out on the water. I've gotten to the point where I don't buy into the outgoing or ingoing tide theories of when fish bite. I think they bite when they're hungry, and if I'm not on the water, I'm going to miss it either way. So that's a sea trout, but definitely not a keeper. They have to be a minimum size of 14 inches with a limit of 10 per person per day in South Carolina. I got a towel. Now, some of our bites are coming right up against the grass line, while others are off the bank about 5 feet. Now, keep an eye on Lori's yellow cork. It's about to do some weird stuff. That's a pretty good cast. Now she's getting a bite, but a trout or a redfish, they're going to bury that cork. So it actually looks like she was kind of dragging the bottom. That's kind of what I thought at first, but there was something there.
Look, you're on the bottom. Reel it in. You're on something.
Oh. I got something stuck on it.
Yeah, I saw it.
While you catch a fish, why I have something stuck?
I hope. You have a crab. Look at that. Pull it in close, slowly. Slowly. Bring it in.
It's a blue crab.
It's holding on to it. Pull it up.
I don't.
Yes, yes, yes.
Do what?
That's bait.
Look at it's a blue crab. It's got blue legs.
Well, come on, pull it up so the camera can see it.
Okay. Will you come off the hook?
No, I think you'll hold on to it. If you just throw it in real slow and pull him up out of the water and drop him in the boat.
I have nothing else to reel in. Drop him where?
In the boat. You might let go of it. He really wants it.
Jason, where's your little basket at?
I guess I could have used it.
Oh, Jason. Now you gotta get him.
I'm fishing.
Jason, get him. That's a blue crab.
That was one really hungry crab. I mean, he really wanted that mud minnow. He wasn't even hooked. He was just clamped onto it and refused to let go, to the point where she was able to lift it into the boat. Now, I would have liked to have kept him for bait. Now, I hear that blue crab, when they're cut in half, become a great bait for bull redfish. But I was unsure what the limits were, and we just decided to go ahead and let it go.
Cool, he's a blue crab.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute, let me take a picture.
Come here, you can hold him.
Nope.
Come in right here.
I'm not holding him. I just want to take a picture.
Let go. Let go. Let go.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Except for Jason got to deal with it. It's cool, but Jason got to deal with it. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's so cool. No more of those.
So here are the spots that we were fishing at in this particular video. I couldn't find the name of this creek, but it flows under the Harborview Road, and the Ashley River is just a short ride in the direction of the arrow. I don't believe Lori and I have fished this spot yet without catching fish, so it's been very productive. Oh, there's my second hookup. Well, this kind of fishing reminds me of bass fishing in a sense, because you're still looking for structure or something unusual about the bank that might hold fish. And in this case, if you look closely, there's a pocket up in the grass, kind of like an indentation, and that's where I had just put my bait. The cork went under after my first pop. Now, somehow I misplaced my measuring tape, so I was using my shoes to kind of guesstimate whether the fish was a keeper. Not the best system, and I can assure you I will have a permanent measuring system installed the next time I go out on the water. This one just doesn't make the cut, and we're going to have to release it.
He's too close to take a chance if we can't measure him for real.
So here's another example of looking for a pocket in the grass. Watch Lori's cast. Now, watch her yellow cork. Now, there it goes.
Hey, what you got? Oh, nice one.
But
You need the. Hold on. Do we need to get the? I'm coming. That might be another keeper.
Nice catch, cousin. That one might actually be a keeper. Maybe not.
that was a minnow.
Yep, that was the minnow.
I would have never got that out.
Hold on.
That's fine.
Let me see here.
Yep. Lori's first keeper of the day. Great job.
I don't know. Maybe.
Close.
Yeah, I think we're gonna keep him.
I got a keeper. Hold on. I got a keeper. That Jason took off the hook. Oh. They just go. Oh, I thought you were in my group.
Now, if you go back and look at the map that I put up, this is the area highlighted adjacent to the bridge. Again, this is a spot that's produced fish every time we've come here. Nice cast right up next to the grass. Oh, there he is. I didn't even get a chance to pop the cork.
got another one? Look at that.
I think that's the red.
Is that big enough? Is this bigger than another
Now
one?
this is not our first redfish of the day. I actually caught one earlier on the same shoreline. In fact, if you look out the back of the boat, there is a boat dock right behind us, and we have had continuous luck casting around it each time we've come to this spot.
Okay. Is it? We need to see how. Oh.
Well, that's the end of part 1. Now, in the next video, Lori and I are going to head out to the jetties, which is about 1.5 miles offshore, and keep an eye out for part 2 because we end up catching some really nice black drum and sheep's head.
Wow.
If you haven't already, be sure to click the subscribe button in order to be notified of any new content on my channel, and it'll just help support me. And listen, thanks for joining us, and remember, if you see me out of the water, be sure to stop and say hello.